a lot in pursuing your ideas. Venture capital is a great idea. I don't know, it's not a new concept in Egypt, but it's very new concept in Egypt. So maybe if you want to pursue it and develop it further in Egypt, I think it will help Egypt a lot. So maybe Ilhami can talk about venture capital, what he knows about venture capital. Is it available in Egypt?
Please go ahead.
Well, I would like to add to Mr. Mohsen's comments. I think his comments were right on. But I'd like to add something because I have experienced this in Egypt. Okay, so I worked in the venture capital industry here in the United States, and then I was recruited to launch several companies in Egypt.
VC company? VC?
Not VC companies, but projects.
Do we have a VC in Egypt that's based in Egypt? I know VCs.
No, with the pure definition of a venture capital company, as Mr. Mohsen mentioned, there is nothing in Egypt like this. Okay, there is this holding company business, and then they go and they invest in a company, and then they will claim that this company belongs to them or they own it, but they only own 30% of this company, 20% of this company, 10% of the other company.
The contract says that the owner will.
No, but there is a profound problem in Egypt. I just want to tell you my own experience. A venture capital company is the best description for it is these companies are specialized, and there is a venture capital fund for let's say biotechnology. There is a venture capital fund for software, high-tech software. There is a capital venture fund for
real estate.
You name it, low tech, high tech,
real estate,
anything.
Real estate not venture capital.
You can have close funds for
like for example, Federal
Yeah.
is venture financed, and actually it failed 3 times, and in the 3rd time it succeeded. Okay.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, just to give you an example. Venture capital funds why they succeed, because as Mohsen said, they have specialized people that, for example, I can for example give you an opinion in the software industry in the United States and the high-tech software. So when they receive a project in software, they bring it to me. I study the market, okay, and I find what is the demand, what is the supply, who are the competition, and how am I going to position myself, and whether this thing has the lifespan of this technology,
which is kind of feasibility stuff, right?
Right. But the most important thing here is that in the States, when you go out and you research anything, you always find the data. In Egypt, it's zero data. You're basically flying by the seat of your pants. يعني just to be blunt. فالprojects اللي في مصر أو the people that they have projects in Egypt that were very successful, it's like Naguib Sawiris and all this. They got the mobile phone. They started something that nobody in Egypt has. Okay, and when you start something like this, you will have to succeed. It's not that you have competition and you have people that can compete with you. وبعدين يعني patents in Egypt is يعني it's a joke. It's a joke.
So why pharmaceutical companies in Egypt, like Pfizer in Egypt, when they have something new in Egypt, they go and register?
No, Pfizer is a big company that is established, and they are talking
but
now.
If it is a joke, then they wouldn't bother about the patent office in Egypt.
No. Wait a minute. Where they are registering the patents?
They register in Egypt as well as outside, but they register in the patent office in Egypt. I'm saying it provides you some protection. I'm not saying it's perfect. I know that.
Okay, because I also am very familiar with the legal system in Egypt, which is not, you can register as much as you want, and when you go to court.
With all the respect, if we keep complaining about the system, we have to start somewhere.
How to start, yeah?
We have to start.
لا
somewhere.
ما
We
انت
have to do something.
ما انت you have to start. You start because you have a government in Egypt. This is a new government. This new government didn't show any signs of direction to anything.
Yeah.
Okay? يعني أنا give you an example. The last issue of Business Week. Okay? Now everybody in Egypt going suing all those people that bought the assets of the Egyptian government. Egypt اللي هو
Securities.
لا مش securities لا.
Privatization.
شركات قطاع العام اللي
قطاع العام.
اتباعت.
Privatization.
$9.4 billion. The Egyptian government sold these public sector companies to the private sector.
But the corrupt government, not.
No, forget about corrupt government. This people now in Egypt, they are suing, going in court and suing, trying to get back these companies from this new.
Yes, because the
Oh, no.
contracts were not fair.
طب الهمي بعد
Contracts
إذن
were not
سيادتك
fair.
يعني you're well experienced in this and I understand all the what they call it constraint in Egypt. How to establish holding company, venture company, and provide protection and all that. Do you have solution for this?
Yeah, the best thing for you is to establish the venture capital here in the United States
Or in Dubai.
or in Dubai, and where laws and all these are very clear, and then you go and you invest. It's like venture capital funds here, they invest in Israel.
But that's why I made a conclusion, and this is personal and this my own conclusion, but I am discussing this with you guys, is we should go now for the time being if we want to do something in Egypt for a holding company. And then we postpone for forming venture capital until we have a more established government and better laws, etc. But my thought here is, as Egyptians abroad, we should do something. And maybe I'm going to mention some examples I would think is that we can do with limited fund, just examples. It could be, to you, it could be bad example, but you give me a good one. If every group of Egyptians abroad do something, we're gonna develop the country bit by bit. We're hoping that the laws will improve. We hope that the system will improve. You have to start somewhere, and we have to do something. And this all the energy. Again, Egyptians are very genius. I do believe in this. Egyptians, what do you call it? The IQ of Egyptians, I believe, is better than the Americans. But the Egyptians, they live in, the Egyptians are more, I'm 100% sure about this. Egyptians are very, very genius. And I have many, many examples that I can make. But look at the terrible situation they have been in for the last, 50, 60, 100 years. Terrible situations. And they still, the country didn't, it's not Somalia, thank God or not. They are very, very active. They are very, very genius, because when we go out abroad, we become Zuhail and we become Yaqub and we become this and this.
I think what he's saying is worth thinking about it, because if you establish something and you know the regulations to start with, your work is going to be much more easier. So having a venture capital, and you are in the United States also when you're here, so if you establish something that's legally, you can get it established. So you're not going to be going from one office to the other in Egypt for a venture capital. That will help. In the addition to that, it will help because if we want to do a partnership project as Egyptian scientists and engineers living in this country, and we know how to do things, and we want to do that with the scholars and scientists in Egypt, we can learn from each other and help them that way. So we need that venture capital, and we need it established here. That's one point. Another thing I really would like to mention to the group, gentlemen and ladies. Last month, Morsi, the president, I was not supporting the person to start with, but I was invited for his talk. He gave a presentation, and he invited I don't know if any of you attended that. Did you attend? Anybody attended there? Okay.
At the UN.
At the UN, and then he met with the Egyptian. He met
The
with
New York
the
Hilton?
Egyptian in New York, yes. And he mentioned that Egypt needs the people here to help